making sure that it's up. Okay, I see my volume is working. Go get your popcorn. Hi, IAAH Radio Plus. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, DJ 5 a.m. and all the great DJs there. Thank you, YouTube, my subscribers. Thanks for the heads up. All right, so we're going to begin. Did you pop your popcorn yet? I'm hoping so. This is a beautiful, balmy 86 degrees out here in the mountains. And grilling will be happening right after this show, actually. So go check me out with Grilling with Judge Desire for Knowledge, weekend grilling. I'll put that up in about a day or two, max. So check me out after, okay? So let's get down to business now. You got your popcorn? Is it popped? Because this is going to pop your mind. I decided I wanted to do this show today because it meant a lot of things I had to figure out in my own life, and I wanted to share it with others on things, when it just feels like things sometimes aren't going, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, it just doesn't go in your favor, even when you have faith and you're praying. So sometimes that can happen, but you got to stay strong and continue to. But and then sometimes you see things going for others that are better, and they're succeeding, they're excelling, and then you think to yourself, so what's the problem here? What haven't I done? What have I skipped? And so I started deciding to look within myself, self-discovery, self-awareness, I call it, self-love and self-respect for myself. Because if you don't have those things, you're never going to figure things out. You can't point fingers at everybody. So this is not a pointing fingers at anyone, because this show and episode is on family affairs. We're not pointing at the family. All right, let me get that straight right now. We're just going to look at this deep, important part of what we haven't checked out. Some of us, not all of us, and what we haven't thought about, most people won't talk about. I, Judge Desire for Knowledge, is bringing it to you here on Know Your Truth Real Talk. So welcome. I'm your host with the most. As I said, I have my channel going with Grilling with Judge Desire. I'm out and about. Travels. Legal Affairs has just changed its name again to Court Affairs. All right. And that will be in 2 weeks. And just go check. I have it all, down on my channel here on YouTube, and I am live on YouTube and IAAH Radio Plus every Saturday at 3. Thank God, God willing, but I will be here. So, and if not, I'll tape it and show it out if I have an event. And with that being said, let's start this episode, this exciting, deep episode on families affairs, which I thought of the title today is Breaking the Family Chain. The curse stops here. And like I was saying, if you've ever said to yourself, would you know how sometimes you said to yourself, I'll never be like my mother or like my father, my grandparent, or anyone in your family, my uncle, my aunt, whoever it is to you. And then one day you realize you're doing the exact same thing. Yeah, we've all been there, or most of us have. So let's go to this point of discussion. And we're going to start with relationship patterns, which deciphers how you can tell if this has happened to you, or if you haven't seen this as a trait, as a pattern in your family. Okay, because this is my family affairs today, or family affairs, I should say, not mine personally, but I put it on as family affairs because it's really important that people connect with what's going on with them, and why things that are happening or has happened or hasn't yet, but you want to stop it from happening, has a lot to do from your past family and the way they reacted at the time they were born. See, everything, I have a show on this where that was their time, this is ours. So, which means changes are really important in life. You can't stick with the same mindset of your parents, their parents, and their parents, and their parents. Things must change. People have to change them. So let's start with relationship patterns, okay? Why do some families have generations of divorce? That's a question. Generations of divorce. Real good question. And why do some families stay in unhealthy relationships? Hmm. You ever wondered about that? Why do some families produce strong marriages? So you have the good and you have the bad, which I call it blessings, all right, when it's good, and curses when it's not. But generation after generation, the same thing. You notice that there's no change there. That's a big factor and stuff when there's no change. And here's why. Is it a curse, a learned behavior, or simply what was modeled at the dinner table? And a lot of times with big families, even small ones, you get that Sunday night dinner where everybody's talking, blah, blah, blah. That's what I mean. So you hear this talk from the time you're small, and you may think that that will work for you, or this is the truth and nothing but the truth. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. So let's talk on money patterns as well, okay? Because I'm going through discussions of realizations of what you're going to figure out. So this is the discussion point. And now we're going to get to, we were in relationship patterns. Now we're going to do money patterns, okay? Wealthy families often stay wealthy. Do you ever ask yourself why that is? Mhm. They use this. And broke families often stay broke. You know why, family? They use this. Talk with no action. I'm just saying, let's be real. This is Know Your Truth Real Talk. So if you don't like the truth, don't come here, because we're not going to sugarcoat it for you. If it's happening, this is how you change it, but don't deny it. You know what I mean? Denying is not going to keep you growing. It's going to keep you small. Spending habits are taught early. Okay. So if your family teach you how to build wealth, did they? Or just how to survive till payday? I mean, it's up to you. You got to think about it. Did they teach you how to survive, or did they teach you how to survive till payday? Did they teach you to build wealth, or did they teach you to survive until the next pay week? Yeah, a lot of people, I've seen that in their families. Matter of fact, I had a discussion with a girl at my job, and we were talking things like that years ago when I first, well, I didn't first start in the courts back then, but I was new to this place that I transferred to, and I will not say where that was, which area or anything, because I don't want to disclose embarrassment on that person because it's stupid what they thought. So, I mean, to me anyway, so I don't want to call it stupid. I just thought it was ignorant. I'll replace that word because that's not a good, that's a negative. So I'll say ignorant of them. And so I asked them about their family, how they were taught to build wealth. And the person said, you know what, I get my paycheck and that's all I care about. You know, I got a job. I get paid week to week, and that's what it is for me and everything. And I did the total opposite. And when I said that, that person was not only angry at me. I mean, I'm sharing with you because I didn't say what you were taught was wrong. I'm just showing you there's different ways in every culture, or the same culture, people do things different. And the girl actually said, I don't know who brought you up, but blah, blah, blah. Excuse me? She got really annoyed. And I said, wow, that's the ignorance from the family as well. Like when you sit down at the table, like we just discussed, and you believe all the stuff your family tells you is exactly how you're supposed to act in life, and it's not. So if you were taught to build wealth or just how to survive till payday, figure that out and see if what you were taught was right or wrong. Not that there's a right and wrong, but how is it working for you? Has it worked? Is it working? That's what you need to ask yourself, and then you'll know the answer, because I'm not going to come here and tell people that's wrong or right. You figure it out for you. I know what's right and wrong for me. Hopefully this video helps you as it helped me learning the processes of knowing about generational and family stuff, curses and blessings. How about we go to anger and conflict? Okay, in families. Some families yell, some families avoid conflict. Yeah, that's true. They do. They'll sit down and talk about it, and some won't. And some people get accustomed to the ones that yell, I know. And they think that's cool. This is the way it's done. Some families hold grudges for decades, though. Okay, and that's where we have to sit down and say, how is that right? Right? Every family has a communication style. Some take it out, some scream it out. I mean, some talk it out and some scream it out. I mean, just say, some don't talk for 20 years. So you get your choice. You got some that will talk about it, some that won't talk about it, and some that will yell about it. So, You pick which one is yours, and then you move on now and see what I'm talking about in this generational curses and generational blessings we have in our families. All right. Now, when it comes to success and self-sabotage in the family, why do some people quit when success gets close? What's going on with that? Why do some families fear standing out? I don't know. Can success feel uncomfortable when nobody in your family has ever experienced it? That's what you need to ask yourself. So if it's uncomfortable for you, you have to understand, why are you allowing that to be uncomfortable for you just because your family hasn't experienced? You don't really owe them anything. What you need to do is live your life the way you're supposed to live it. And if that's meant for you to succeed and be more than what they have become because they chose not to, or they were too lazy and figured, oh, I'm just going to enjoy life as it is, but yet they still wish and hope that they had the wealth to back that up, then do what you need to do it right, and don't do it the way they've done it. If this is for you, there's a lot of people who's going to be for it. Everybody has that family. I don't care what you say, there's someone there. And this is why we consider these generational curses, because they go from generation to generation to generation, and they never stop, unless you stop it. Okay. So we're going to talk now about positive stuff, like positive generational blessings. Not everything passed down is negative. So what isn't negative is strong work ethic. Okay, if you were taught that, faith, this is a blessing. Education, that's a blessing. Community service is a blessing. Resilience, not to give up, not to sit down. And if things go wrong, you're not crying, boo hoo hoo me, but you're getting back up. That's resilience. So these things are considered the blessings of generational blessings, is what I'm calling it, versus the generational curses. So this basically, if you were taught these things right here, these 5 things right here: strong work ethic, faith, education, community service, resilience, you got it going on. You were given a blessing in your family to move forward with that. Hopefully you do. We can spend a lot of time talking about generational curses, but what about the blessings, right? What about generational blessings? And that's why I wanted to bring that part up, because that one is when you know, okay, that's what I want. I'm not looking at the curses. I want to get that. But I do have curses in my family, generational, from generation to generation. Then look at that and change it. Just those words right there: faith, education, resilience, not unstoppable. Those type of things help you get through the generational curse that has been placed on all of our families. Have something, some dark ancestors that have done bad, or haven't done their jobs, and sometimes they're not capable of doing it. But it shouldn't be taught that that's okay. It shouldn't be taught that we just sit and settle. All right. Someone has to be the different example from the norm. Exactly. Someone has to be the different example from the norm. Thank you. Um, I appreciate your answer there, your input. I really like that. And let's just add some humor before we go to the real serious part. Because if you're living, you might be living a family pattern. Okay, and I'm going to show these patterns because I was just talking about the generational curses. So these patterns, let's be humorous here. If you handle money exactly like your parents, even though you criticize them, but you're doing the same thing. You date the same type of person like your parents. So that you could be reminded of them all day long. Family arguments start with not arguing and end 3 hours later with, I'm not arguing, but that argument doesn't end until 3 hours later is what I meant. Every generation says the family is crazy. If every generation say this family crazy, because that's the way they talk in the street, this family crazy, then you know something's up. Okay, that's funny and humorous, but serious at the same time. Okay, the family secret isn't a secret anymore because everybody knows it. And that's the truth, whatever that secret is in yours. What was normal in your house growing up is what you know. So what was it? Was it yelling normal? Was silence normal? Was saving money normal? Was debt normal? Like, it's okay. I don't mind being broke. It's cool here being broke. Was cheating normal? Yeah, we allowed to do that because that's what my dad did, or my grandfather, or my mom and my grandmother did. Yeah. Was education celebrated? Hmm. Most likely not. And those that do, kudos to you, because not many families get that opportunity. And I've seen it. And or was drama a daily event? And I've seen this too, where families are just so dramatic, they make novellas now. So if you ever know the Spanish channels with novellas, that's considered dramas. Or drama in the courtroom, because I've seen it there as well. Yeah, and with families, they come in and they just la 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 la. Whether it's husband, wives, or families fighting over a will, it's always drama. So was this the everyday? This was normal to you growing up, because what's normal in one house is shocking in another. Okay, and you can see that a lot out here. People consider certain things like that normal, and that it's okay, but is it? Now, how about the invisible family rules, where every family has rules? All right, but the strange thing is most aren't written down. For example, don't trust anyone. You remember at the dinner table, your parents would tell you, either your mom or your dad, which I like this one, don't trust anybody though. All right, keep family business inside the family. Men don't cry. Oh, Dito. You should, because you need to let it out. You need to let your feminine side out, and masculine out when needed. But men aren't taught this. They're taught too much machismo. And how's that working for you today, guys? I don't think so. You're being demasculated by women. So, and it's not because you don't cry. It's because you do too much. And I don't want to get on the men. Come see me next week for Father's Day special, for those that have the weak backbone and allow women to do what they do to you. And I'm going to tell you why it is. Because of this machismo stuff you would talk to about in your generations. It's not right either way for to be masculine from a woman. I mean, you know what I mean. To have your manhood taken by another woman, because it's not fair. But at the same time, what were you taught? How to treat a woman? Were you taught how to? Were you taught to respect? I know women should be taught, most women are taught to respect men, cook for them, and this and that. But these are just the things I'm talking about. These are the examples. And sometimes we look and say, why? And this is why we shouldn't move forward with this stuff anymore. Men don't cry. Women do everything, like I just said. Yeah, we supposed to do everything. I think we should be 50-50 in everything we do, you know? We both could work. I don't have a problem with that. I love making my own money, and sharing it with my spouse, or you know, I was brought up that way, to 50-50 anyway. There was no machismo. The man brings home the money, because you know what? That's, in a way, is not building. It takes two people to build. But we'll do that on another show. I think I did do a show on that. Right now, I don't know the title, so I'm going to move forward, where women do everything, which we were told that we should be barefoot. Remember that? At home, standing home barefoot and pregnant, right? I could be home barefoot and pregnant and go back to work, babe. Yeah, I'm a chismo man. Yeah, I can. And I'm not getting on the men, because I be getting on the women a lot, because I don't like the way that they do things sometimes too. So I'm pretty much on 50-50. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm gonna say it, because both sides are wrong a lot. But that'll be another show again. Um, where women do everything, never discuss money. This is examples of what we're taught. Never discuss feelings. You know, we shouldn't let our feelings out. How's someone gonna know if you care about them, or what's going on with you? We're supposed to read minds now. If that's the case, I'd play the lottery and win it, right? Never get too successful. Oh my God, if we're successful, we failed? Oh, come on, man, make that make sense. Never outshine the family. Oh, I've heard this before. Why not? If they didn't do it, you do. That's their problem. Or men are supposed to sow their wild oats. How did that work out for you, though? These are the questions that need to be answered, that came down from generations of men and women. Men are supposed to sow their wild oats. How did that work out for you? Child support payments, not married. Really? Some of you can't even get married. You don't have husbands or wives, or you don't want them. That's fine. But why you have all these children out here then? I mean, how did that work out? You're in child support. I've seen you there. I don't work at that part of the cart anymore, but I've seen it. Basically, it's not working out for you guys because now they're demasculizing you, um, playing like they're in love with you, taking all your money and running. That's not smart. So all that machismo stuff you were taught by your father, your father's father, his father's father, didn't work out, fellas. It didn't. And ladies, all the other stuff didn't work out for you either. So we have to come together and see what does work out so that we can do this all together and do it right. It's not about who's best, who's not best, who did what and who didn't do what. It's about what are you going to do today? What are you going to do about it now? What was that? Matriarch energies are coming back. Patriotic is being removed. Yeah. And we can have a lot of people to blame for that. But I'm not going to go in this because I'm going to do a segment too. I'm not sure if it will definitely be between next month or August, July or August. But it's going to be real deep. This is just the beginning. Because I think we need to talk about this a lot more because a lot of people are not going to get it. But that's okay. Those that will get it will see the show, and I hope I helped us all here because I helped myself during this show, and this is why I brought it forward. It's helped me in my life to realize a lot of stuff I needed to do that I was doing right and that I was doing wrong, and because of things like this. So that change is what's required. Not changing is not. That's not what's up, as you guys say. Men are resigning from political positions and women are taking over. And you know what? I don't mind if the men didn't do their job. I don't mind, right? But the fact that both parties can take on um, political, and I won't bring this in my arena, but we both can share the spotlights. Let's just leave it there. But I understand. Okay. Now, question, how many of your decisions are yours, like I was just saying, and how many are outdated beliefs and family rules running in the background? How many? It is the new energies coming in. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it is what it is. What we're going to do about it is what's going to matter. And so let me get back. Let me start that again. How many of your decisions are yours and how many are old, outdated beliefs, family rules running in the background? Just ask yourself that, okay? Now let's go to generational blessings versus generational curses. I'm going to start out with blessings because blessings come first for me all the time, no matter what. Because being a blessing to others is a blessing for me. And I love blessings. It's happy, it's joyful, it's love, it's everything. So let's start with blessings. Discipline, education, saving, loyalty, faith, responsibility, encouragement. That's blessing, a generation of blessing. And when you have blessings like that, normally those generations that are blessed will bless others. That's what's important. Now let's go through curses, generational curses. And we've seen this in a lot more than we needed to. Laziness, ignorance, stubbornness, toxic loyalty, fear, right? Victim mentality, criticism. And we watched growing up people in our families, generation to generation, doing this. Every family passes something down. The question here is whether it's helping us, whether it's helping you or hurting you. Is it helping us or hurting us? All right. You know you're repeating family history when, let's say, when you hear your parents' words coming out of your own mouth. How about that one? I told you that you're going to have children and they're going to do the same to you. And then you have children and you're going to tell your child the same thing. I think last week I said that about in my other show. Go check that out. Karma, good karma, bad karma. That was pretty good, I think. I hope you all enjoyed that one as well. Or you make the exact mistake they warned you about. Don't get with that person. Don't get with this person. Well, we're not here to tell people what to do, but sometimes you have to listen to certain things, not everything. You have to decipher what that is for you. You have to have discernment for yourself. People can't make up your mind for you. Everything is a learning lesson. If you haven't learned the lesson, you'll repeat it until you do. It's the circle of life. That's the truth. Or something like you swore you'd raise your kids differently, and suddenly you're saying, because I said so. I've done that. You know, when you tell your children and they back talk you or something like that, and then you're like doing what your parents did because I said so. And then you're like, oops, wow, didn't I say I wouldn't be like them? And then you have here the blessing generation. Okay, not that there's one better than the other, but we know that curses is not a good one. But we're going to call them the family champion. And there's one in your family, probably more than one. If it's the whole tribe, kudos to you because you've done your job in deciphering and leaving whatever you were taught back there where it doesn't belong, at least the wrong stuff. Okay, so we're on the family champion. Every family usually has this one person, right, who breaks the cycle. And here's how: the first graduate, college graduate, the first business owner, the first homeowner, the first person who gets therapy. Some places that's important. The first person who ends addiction. And when I say addiction, it can be all kinds: alcohol, sex, you name it, money addiction, whatever. The first person who stops abuse, domestic violence is everywhere. The first person who learns healthy relationship is smart, it is important, and unhealthy, that they can decipher the difference. Every family tree has someone who decides the pattern ends here. As people, and that's the truth. Every family tree has that one person. And if you don't, you be that person today. Hindsight is 2020 for you, seeing the past to fix the future. Exactly. And so in closing with that, which was very important for me to say, that every family tree is not impossible, people. It's your mindset. Go watch my mindset videos, please, because you obviously gonna need it. Because people think things are everybody else's fault. I'm not blaming here. This is what I started with in the beginning. This is not a blame your family show. This is a how we correct it show. How can we say, okay, that was wrong and still respect who your family is? All right. And tell them. And if not, tell them, don't do the same as they did. I'm talking about the wrong things they did, not the right things. You again have to have discernment and decipher what is that for you and your family and your future family, your children, their children, and their children. We got to stop these generational curses, period. And I'm going to get bigger on this in the second one. Part 2 is coming up. I'm not sure when, but I will be throwing it out. So in closing, I just wanted to say families that accept immoral acts as the norm, all right, gives access to a lot of dark energies to stay dormant within, yeah, their bloodlines. It sure does, creating generational curses from generation to generation to generation, ancestral, and that's what my next one's going to be about. Bondages, all kinds of things, okay? Things such as sexual abuse, domestic violence, murder, sex addictions, all addictions, witchcraft, things like that, that people think is normal. That's okay. It's not okay. Who told you that? Make that make sense. Those things are not. And you're keeping dark energies within your bloodline that's stopping you from moving forward. Yeah, it really is. And if you don't think so, then this channel ain't for you. Because I'm not going to believe in any dark energies being inspiring or inspiring domestic violence, murder, sex, and sexual abuse or addictions. I'm not doing that here because I don't believe in it. I know it exists, but I'm not going to condone it, is what I should say. All right? Not on this channel and not on any channel ever. So you name it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And you're just going to have to accept that. And if you think it's right, something's wrong with you, go see the therapist I said earlier, because that's your first step towards breaking generational curse, okay? Your bloodline explains where you come from. It doesn't get to decide where you're going. All right? So stop overthinking it. Because in the end, I'm just going to say one thing. It really isn't going to matter. There's bigger stuff out here going on. All right? That you all aren't seeing. Well, hopefully one day you will. And you'll wake up. But the greatest honor you can give your family isn't repeating every pattern they handed to you. Seriously. It's keeping the good, removing the bad, and leaving the next generation better than the one before it. With faith, truth, growth, and transformation. The cycle stops with you, the curse breaker. Now that's real talk, all right? You can break those chains and you can be the curse breaker of your family. And that's what matters. That's real talk. So I'm going to leave it at that on this beautiful day. I'm about to grill people, so go check out Grilling with Judge Desire for Knowledge. I put something up the other day. Thank you, viewers, for going out there. Please like, share, and subscribe to that and this channel here, Know Your Truth, Real Talk, because I'm going to bring it to you, bringing you the truth and nothing but the truth on your Know Your Truth with me, Judge Desire for Knowledge. The host with the most is adjourned. I will see you next Saturday for Know Your Truth, Real Talk. And it's going to be, the topic's going to be another hot one. I had gotten you mothers on Mother's Day, and now I'm going for you fathers, but good and bad. We're just going to compare it. All right? Maybe it'll help you guys be better fathers. And those that are good, kudos to you. You deserve to celebrate Father's Day next week. And those that don't, come watch the show. All right, I did it to the mothers. What's it called? They did it to this guy the other day, Kevin Hart. That's what I'm doing on those shows, but it's not nice to make fun. I'm not doing it that way. It's not to intimidate people. My show is to build us together. I still have a lot of work. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be. That's too boring. But I want to be better. And I'm going to try to make you better in the process alongside with me. Thank you, my family. Mi amores. Happy Saturday. Blessings, love, and light. I will see you next week, God willing. And I hope you don't forget your popcorn. That's thanks. That's right. Don't forget your popcorn, fathers. Women, you are allowed to come in, ladies, and watch that show as well. I might go live. Yeah, I might. I think I have an event, but I'm not sure yet. I have to look at my schedule. But either way, go get that popcorn. Thanks. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, IAAH Radio Plus. Go check them out with the best DJs in town. Thank you, DJ 5 a.m. They have house genre on their IAAH radio channel, which is It's All About House. And then the IAAH Radio Plus, which is this channel, gives you a genre of everything that you can think of. 24 hours a day. So go check them out. All right. Thank you all. Blessings. See you next week. Ciao.